Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you didn't know, my name is Josh McCauley and I'm an online fitness and sober coach. I help people going through addiction build a better lifestyle for themselves, and the goal is to get sober. Um, I started this page to educate people on what I went through, how I got clean. And in the process, I'm also helping family members and loved ones of people understand addiction, because there is a gap, and it is so hard for family members because they try so damn hard to understand, but they can't. So I'm gonna break it down on what my situation was, and then I'm gonna give you guys a couple examples and steps that you can do to better understand your loved one. So um, if you're new here, I struggled with alcohol, gambling, and this stuff. I don't know if I can say it on here, but basically drank since I was 15, always been a problem. I was a blackout drinker up till college. I didn't get sober till I was 24. So my drinking had always been a problem. I tried to get sober on my own, month on, fall back, month on, fall back. So at around 23, I got a cocaine addiction that lasted a year. It progressed very quickly. And I'm the type of person who takes any substance to the next level. So, say I found this substance, by 6 months in, it went from an every weekend special treat to a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, consistent. And then by the end of that year, I was using every single day. I was spending all my paychecks. I was hanging out at strip clubs, shooting dice in areas I shouldn't have been, distancing myself from my family, locking myself in my room, not even going out. All my roommates would go out. I would stay in my room and use, to the point where I was paranoid. I was seeing things that weren't there. I was even barricading my door in because I thought things were coming out. It got scary. It was not cool. And I had been holding all of this inside. Everyone around me, my roommates, were seeing I was going downhill. They didn't necessarily know how to help. They were partiers. I was the issue, but it wasn't a good environment. I was living with my frat buddies. It was not a good environment for me. So giving a quick rundown for you guys so you kind of have a general understanding. So when it got bad, I would ask for my mom for money. I make good money. I'm an electrical engineer. So I would ask her for money. Hey, I need money. I need money. And then eventually it's like, what do you need money for? Like, why are you always out of money? And I gambled a lot. So it got to a point where I had messaged her and I was like, I need help. Like, I'm not in a good spot. And this kind of went on. My family is super supportive. They're the best. I'm here today because of them. So at some point, I went home for the weekend because I had lost $20,000 on credit card debt. It was bad. And I had a conversation with my parents. They have never, they don't do cocaine or have really done it, so they didn't understand, but they wanted to help me. So they gave me a large sum of money. It was like 15 to 20 grand to take care of my cards. I would slowly pay it back. That way I'm not paying whatever the 30% cash advance that I did. And we were the understanding that I was going to stop. I can stop on my own, right? Like I had always tried. That never worked. So that happened. They gave me the money. I went back. All was good. I'm supposed to stop. Within a month of that plan, I'd spent all the money that they had given me. So I racked up those credit cards again, and I was tweaking. I was like hallucinating off drugs because I'm staying up for 3 days at a time consistently. I was missing important work meetings, about to lose my job. And then I drove home again for the weekend. My family was in Florida. I was going to watch my dog. I am in a bad state at this point. Like, I could barely drive home. A 4-hour drive home took me 6-7 hours because I was using on the drive and I was tweaking. I haven't really talked about what happened on that ride, but to anybody, no one knows that. But yeah, so I get home. I was sending my family group chat pictures and videos of things that weren't there. They got on a flight home because they were scared for my mental health and well-being. This point, I'm like really down bad at work. Like, I've been called into meetings about my performance. My family's scared. And my parents, like, are, I remember I was sitting in my room after I lost that second 20 grand that they gave me. And, you know, I was in such a low spot that the only thing that really kept me going was my mom called me and she said she loved me and it was going to be okay, because I was at a really low spot. And, um, drugs and gambling really affect your emotional state. I never would have harmed myself, but like if you want to feel low, that was the lowest point I'd ever been. And her telling me that she loved me and it was going to be okay was everything. So that was before I had went home. It was all kind of building up, and then they got home from Florida early to help me. My mom wrote me a very, very kind letter about how she really wants me to get help and go to rehab. I read that crying, and about a few hours later, I went and got a 3.5 bag and did it all that night. Um, so this was like my last week of a bender. My grandma got called out to the house because I was like saging the house. I thought demons were after me. It was, yeah, like bad. My uncle came out. Like, it was the ultimate crash out, but it was the only thing that would have got me to go get help, because I am a very, um, what's the word, stubborn person. I always want to do it on my own. I'm a man. I'm supposed to do it on my own. So at the end of that week, they're all convincing me. My sister's a counselor. I'm up at 5 in the morning, probably up for 3 days, super drunk. I'm writing down, like, I don't even know what I was writing down. I was writing down the only people I could trust or whatever it was. My sister came out and she convinced me to go. She had some tactics. I won't get into that, but she convinced me to go at 5 in the morning. I'm in New York. Rehab was in California. I was in California at the facility by 9 p.m. So um, this was kind of a background of like how bad I knew I wanted to get help, but I still wouldn't accept it. I wasn't forced to go. I did um, admit, like, accept going, but I was in a fucked up state, and they convinced me to go. And I am forever blessed for my sister and my family for that, because that changed my life. I wouldn't be here today if if I didn't have them. So that's a little background of the difficulty that family members have to go through of someone going through addiction. Um, and my parents drink and whatnot. That's their thing, but like they don't fully understand the addiction. I'm like a true fiend. So if you're a family member and you see someone struggling, they may not have reached out yet. Number one, research addiction. There is a thing called Al-Anon where you can go and take classes to understand people going through addiction. I try and post a lot of content for family members to understand addiction on my page. You can literally type it in on the internet, but it's very hard to understand the mind of an addict. You could be screaming, just stop, just stop. I love you, I want to help you. And they might hear it, but that drug is overpowering everything. And they care about you so much, but they're going to choose that drug every time. And that is the hard thing that family members under addiction don't understand, because it hurts them. And number two is lead with compassion, not judgment. So, they are using because they feel so alone. They feel empty. They feel scared. So they need love and compassion, and they also need to be understood. So that is where it comes in with the family, where it's hard because you don't necessarily understand. And that's kind of why I'm building this page, because they need someone to understand them. Like, I've had frat bros reach out, hey man, this is going on. I will never judge, and they'll probably tell me some fucked up shit, and I'll be like, you know what, I did that too, or, I understand. I will never judge. But it's hard to open up to family because you've been hiding all of this pain and you don't want to tell it to people and scare them. And it's hard. And especially when you lay some deep ass shit on your family and they don't understand, it puts you back in a deeper hole. Like, no one understands me. Like, fuck you guys. And and it's not the family's fault. And the addict needs help. It's dealing with an addict is the most difficult thing in the world, because you are seeing the person you love most destroy their life. Um, and another thing is set healthy boundaries. So um, when you are dealing with an addict, you need to understand them in a way like, if you're giving them money all the time, um, you're kind of enabling them. As much as you love them and you don't want them to suffer, you are enabling them. Um, and my parents helped me. I'm forever blessed for that. But in a way, they were enabling me because I had money. But they never wanted to see me struggle, which is the hardest part. And so setting those boundaries, not letting them walk over you, because an addict will destroy everything. You know, you my parents didn't just have 20 grand laying around to give me. That was them spotting me to pay them back eventually, and I just blew through it. I am a family man. My parents are my best friends, and me to disrespect them like that and take advantage of them like that kills me, because that is not my character. That's not how I was raised. That's not the person I was. But because of drugs, that was the person I was, and I take full responsibility for it. Um, and I've learned, and I've moved forward from there because that is someone I never want to be again. I am the worst version of myself as an addict. So, you know, not getting walked over. And the last important thing, so if you're going to approach an addict and you're a family member, you need to have a plan. And if they're dealing with this stuff, cocaine, um, they're going to be emotional as hell. They're going to be crying to you one day, then they're going to be like, fuck you the next day. And then they're going to be like, I'm ready to change today. And it's going to be a constant cycle. You need to have a plan when you approach them, um, to connect them with a sober support, whether it be myself, AA, NA. A lot of younger kids or younger adults don't want to go to AA or NA. They feel judged, they don't feel comfortable. I am a safe spot. I am not the only sober support, but I don't see, like, there's a lot of people on social media that will help. I genuinely care. And if you are a family member, please feel free to reach out and I will talk to you for free. I enjoy helping. God guides me every single day. So this is all His work. But that is the thing. So if you're going to have a plan, approach them. Approach with compassion, but also approach with authority. You're not getting walked over anymore. You are treating them like an adult daycare. Like they need to be watched. They don't get to go out and have fun at the bars anymore after they've been abusing your money, abusing your mental health. They don't get enabled anymore. You need to put your foot down and, have compassion, have understanding, but at the same time, not get walked on. So this is why it's such a complex thing, because it is not easy and it is so hard because you love them so much and they're disrespecting you, but you got to be nice to them. So that's kind of where, if you have the financials or the opportunity to get them help, you need to give them compassion and understanding, give them structure, lead them to support. Lead them to support. So whether it's connecting them with me, getting them into a rehab, getting them to AA, there's a bunch of options, but you need to have support set up and get them on it when you talk, ASAP. Because the longer you wait, the more you're going to get walked on and the dangerous it gets. And I've been talking with moms of addicts. I've been talking with girlfriends of addicts, and they're like, they have no clue what to do because they're stuck in a cycle. And at the end of the day, you can't force someone to get clean. They kind of have to want to, but with the right love, with the right care, with the right understanding, you can guide them in the right direction. And there's a lot of people out on the streets because their family gave up on them. And I'm blessed to have the family I do, because who knows where I would have been. And I'm the type of person where I needed to hit a low point to get help. I had lost a 5-year relationship and I tried so hard to get clean. And that was just with alcohol. That was before I found coke. Losing my job almost. So many different things happened. They were compiling up. I crashed a car. I had to hit a low point to understand. And God gave me so many signs that didn't kill me. And I'm blessed to be here today and able to learn from my mistakes and teach others. So I hope this was somewhat helpful. If this was helpful, if you want me to talk about more things, If you disagree, please let me know in the comments. I'm always down to learn more, I'm down to help, and I'm down to talk to people going through things. If you are looking for help directly, DM me start on Instagram. My username is Josh Macaulay _. It should be in my profile, but I'll put it down below in the description. I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate you guys giving support. If you haven't, please subscribe, give it a like, give it a comment. But take care, guys. Appreciate you.